But I want to throw it down now to Chase and Kevin, because they are both gigging musicians, but the way they've chosen to move into social media is not through their own channels, but by creating essentially what is an online place for the jazz community to come together, which is Jazz Memes. So could you guys give me kind of a brief origin story of Jazz Memes and talk a bit about how you've grown that audience and community?
Yeah, definitely. Jazz Memes actually started from very humble beginnings. The original place it all started was just a personal experience, sharing these experiences that we were having as gigging musicians to each other as brothers. So, you know, you go on a gig, something happens, that was hilarious, or man, that always happens, that's a shame. Like, you know, not getting paid on time, or, you know, some player doing something. We were just sharing that amongst each other. But then, as we shared that amongst our local community, other players we were playing with on gigs, we realized they're going through the exact same things. And if they're going through the exact same things, we can, maybe other musicians out there in the global community would also relate and have the same experience and catharsis we were getting, just having a laugh or talking about these things. So we made a concerted effort after we realized that we created our Instagram page. We felt that was the platform best for us. And we decided to share these experiences globally and see what happens, see if other people felt the same. And we made one other specific choice, which was when sharing stories and experiences about specifically jazz-related gigging and performing and experiences, we chose to use jazz legends as the subject matter. And that was intentional, and the reason we did that was we felt that if we were going to be speaking to a global audience, these are the icons and images that speak to all of us. We all look up to these heroes. We all understand and maybe know some of their history, and that story speaks to us. So by using them as the subject for the memes that we then create, it's not to say that they maybe specifically were in that exact experience that we chose to use their picture for, but that maybe if you're someone else in the jazz community saying, you know what, maybe if they went through that, maybe I can relate to them better. It helps connect you to the history of the music and these legends that we all look up to realize, like, you know what, maybe they also didn't get paid on time. Maybe they also were struggling with other musicians on the scene. And it's not to point that out in a negative way, but to connect us all better with them, the history, and then, of course, through each other, because we are all coming to this platform to have a laugh or share that experience and relate and comment on that experience. So we did start off from a very personal place, but as we grew and decided to make this a global kind of effort and share this with the community, we made those choices. And now, as we've grown to over 125,000 followers, our goal is grown. So basically, as we've grown, the community's grown, there's a couple other things we'd like to do, and our mission now is to basically grow that positive jazz community. And there's a lot of things that come with that, but really the main ways we do that is through entertainment. So some of that you will see today how we entertain, education, which we'll also talk about, and engagement, and we'll also get into that. There's various ways we do each of those things, and that's what keeps this positive community together, and that's a very concerted effort that we try to bring home.
Just before we move on to Jesse, one of the things that you talked about, which I've also talked